The MCU has really been struggling since Avengers Endgame. It's something that we've known for a while, but mainstream outlets like Variety are only now starting to report on it. It's also becoming increasingly clear that Marvel Studios doesn't have a clear plan for their future.
I don't know, I'm making this up as I go.
Despite the original Captain Marvel making over $1 billion, no one expected the sequel to do well, and they were right. It's tanking at the box office and looks like it might even lose money. And the thing is, I didn't even hate it. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't good, but it simply gave me exactly what I expected. Energy beam fights, green screen backgrounds that were clearly fake, emotional character moments being undercut by humor, multiversal technobabble, and a post-credit scene with a recognizable cameo.
Please clap.
I didn't hate the Marvels because, after a string of MCU stinkers, I had no expectations for this one. Therefore, I couldn't really be disappointed by it.
If you expect disappointment, then you can never really get disappointed.
It's a huge problem when so many MCU products are all starting to look and feel the same. Especially when phases 1 through 3 gave us such a diverse selection of movies that included period pieces, political thrillers, and an emotionally resonating civil war. Despite the decreasing Disney Plus viewership and poor box office numbers, phases 4 and 5 have been pretty ambitious as far as the storylines they've been setting up. Young Avengers, Street Level Avengers, Thunderbolts, a new Daredevil show, and a new Blade movie. But there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding many of these upcoming projects, particularly Daredevil and Blade, which reportedly have been going through production hell. But the biggest thing the MCU has been setting up is also its biggest question mark: Kang the Conqueror. The domestic violence charges against Jonathan Majors have been well documented by this point, and it's been reported that Marvel is going to back away from Kang's storyline as a whole. Given the level of involvement and build-up this character has had in Phase 5, this is a pretty big bombshell. He was being built up as the next Thanos, but on a multiversal scale. Kang is the one who would gather all his variants and conquer every single world in the multiverse. The Kang Dynasty, which is scheduled for 2026, just lost its lead writer and director, and it feels really up in the air if this movie is even happening at all. So, how does Marvel completely write Kang out of its universe, should it choose to do so? Well, the answer could lie in the Loki series. I'll be spoiling the end of Season 2, so if you haven't watched it yet, this is your warning. Despite its poor viewership, Loki Season 2 was actually really good. Yeah, Loki as a character went through an incredible redemption arc, the supporting cast was great, the writing was really clever, and it had a breathtaking ending. Loki is desperate to save a crumbling multiverse, and he ultimately sacrifices his freedom to take the throne as the new master of the multiverse, a position that previously belonged to a Kang variant, He Who Remains. This would be a really satisfying ending if it were a standalone series, but the problem is that it's ultimately one part of the huge convoluted mess that is the MCU. Despite the death of He Who Remains, the Kang variants would still exist throughout the multiverse and likely know about Loki taking the throne. There could be a way to explain how Loki stops the Kang variants, maybe even by pruning them from existence, but it would really be a stretch, and the writers would have to explain this well in order to make it work. So, if Kang doesn't end up being the big bad, then who will? The most logical answer is Doctor Doom. He's almost certainly going to be introduced in the new Fantastic Four movie, and it would be a great way to set him up for Secret Wars, which is scheduled for 2027. God Emperor Doom is the main antagonist of this story, where characters from several different universes meet on a planet called Battleworld. And if it were up to me, I would just end the MCU with Secret Wars. They should just have a crossover bonanza and go as crazy as possible with this one. Deadpool 3 already promises elements of this by bringing in obscure characters from older Marvel movies. So if the MCU is going to end or reboot anytime soon, they should at least go out with a bang. Between all the older movies with the X-Men, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, and so on, they should just let anyone and everyone show up on Battleworld. There's also been rumors that Marvel wants to bring back the original 6 Avengers in some capacity, so this could also be a way for them to do that. Robert Downey Jr., Tobey Maguire, Hugh Jackman, just get them all in there. I don't know how likely it is that Secret Wars ends the entire MCU, but that's at least how I would do it. Sure, it might not make for great storytelling, but it would be one hell of a spectacle. Given how much investment that's been put in the Disney Plus series and movies at this point, though, I think they're going to try and continue this on as long as they can, even well after Secret Wars. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think the MCU is going to do, and what do you think they should do? Please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a good one.